Mentalization is the secret sauce that makes relationships thrive and our minds more resilient. It's the reason why simply talking through our feelings with a trusted friend can be a powerful antidote to stress and anxiety. By mastering mentalization, we can unlock the door to deeper connections, sharper emotional intelligence, and a more compassionate understanding of ourselves and others. One of the key psychological theories that explains mentalization is attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. According to this theory, our early relationships with caregivers shape our ability to mentalize or understand and interpret the mental states of others. When we experience a secure attachment, we develop a sense of safety and trust, which enables us to explore and understand the minds of those around us. Another important framework for understanding mentalization is Peter Fonagy's concept of reflective functioning. Reflective functioning is essential for developing empathy, regulating emotions, and building strong relationships. My colleagues in the field have found that individuals with higher levels of reflective functioning tend to have better mental health outcomes and more satisfying social connections. The development of mentalization has also been influenced by the work of psychologist Daniel Siegel, who has written extensively on the topic of interpersonal neurobiology. According to Siegel, our brains are wired to respond to the mental states of others, and this process is essential for building strong relationships and achieving emotional regulation. By understanding how our brains process social information, we can develop more effective strategies for improving our mentalizing abilities. In terms of research findings, studies have shown that mentalization is closely linked to emotional intelligence, empathy, and social competence. For example, one study found that individuals who scored high on mentalizing tasks tended to perform better in social situations and had stronger relationships with others. Another study discovered that mentalizing ability was associated with reduced symptoms of anxiety and depression. One of the most significant controversies in the field of mentalization concerns its relationship to psychopathology. Some researchers argue that deficits in mentalizing ability are a key factor in the development of borderline personality disorder, while others propose that mentalizing is more closely linked to attachment style. My experience with clients has led me to believe that both factors play a role, and that mentalizing ability can be influenced by a complex interplay of genetic, environmental, and social factors. So, how can we apply our understanding of mentalization to everyday life? One practical example is the use of mentalizing statements in conversation. These are statements that explicitly acknowledge the mental state of another person, such as, "You seem really upset about this," or "I can tell you're feeling frustrated." By using these types of statements, we can help our conversation partners feel heard and understood, which can lead to deeper connections and more effective communication. In therapeutic settings, mentalization-based treatments have been developed to help individuals improve their mentalizing abilities. These treatments often involve techniques such as mindfulness, role-playing, and reflective journaling, all designed to enhance the patient's ability to understand and interpret the mental states of themselves and others. For instance, a therapist might use a technique called mentalizing the transference to help a patient understand how their feelings towards the therapist may be related to their early relationships with caregivers. A crucial aspect of mentalization is its connection to empathy, which allows us to understand and share the feelings of others. When we mentalize, we're not just acknowledging someone's emotions, we're also attempting to grasp their perspective, needs, and desires. This empathetic understanding is essential for building strong, resilient relationships. One of the key researchers who has contributed significantly to our understanding of mentalization is Arietta Slade, who has worked extensively on the development of mentalizing abilities in children. According to Slade, mentalizing begins early in life, with infants as young as 6 months old demonstrating an understanding of their caregivers' mental states. As children grow and develop, their mentalizing abilities become more sophisticated, enabling them to navigate complex social situations and form meaningful relationships. The evolution of mentalization over time is also closely tied to our brain development. Neural imaging studies have shown that mentalizing activates a network of brain regions, including the medial prefrontal cortex, the superior temporal sulcus, and the fusiform gyrus. These regions work together to enable us to process social information, understand other people's mental states, and regulate our own emotions. As we age, our brains continue to develop and refine these mentalizing abilities, allowing us to become more adept at navigating complex social situations. In terms of significant research findings, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who engaged in mentalizing activities, such as writing about their relationships or imagining others' perspectives, experienced increased empathy and improved relationship satisfaction. Another study published in the journal Development and Psychopathology discovered that children who developed strong mentalizing abilities early in life were less likely to experience social anxiety and depression later on. A controversy in the field of mentalization concerns its relationship to narcissistic personality disorder. Some researchers argue that individuals with narcissistic tendencies often exhibit deficits in mentalizing ability, which can lead to impaired empathy and relationships. However, others propose that narcissism may actually be related to an overactive mentalizing system, where individuals become overly focused on their own mental states and needs, leading to grandiosity and a lack of empathy for others. To illustrate the application of mentalization in everyday life, consider a situation where a friend is going through a difficult breakup. A mentalizing approach might involve asking your friend questions like, "What do you think your ex-partner was feeling during the breakup?" Or "How do you think this experience has affected your sense of self-worth?" By encouraging your friend to mentalize about their ex-partner's feelings and needs, you can help them develop a more nuanced understanding of the situation and foster empathy. In therapeutic settings, mentalization-based treatments often involve techniques such as mentalizing the therapist, where patients are encouraged to imagine the therapist's thoughts and feelings in order to develop a deeper understanding of the therapeutic relationship. This approach can help patients become more aware of their own mental states and needs, leading to increased self-regulation and improved relationships. The concept of epistemic trust is also essential in mentalization-based treatments. Epistemic trust refers to the degree to which we trust others to provide us with accurate and reliable information about the world. Therapists can foster epistemic trust by being transparent, consistent, and empathetic, creating a safe environment for patients to explore their mental states and develop stronger relationships. As we delve deeper into the concept of mentalization, it's essential to explore its relationship with emotional regulation. Mentalizing allows us to understand and interpret the emotional states of others, which in turn helps us regulate our own emotions. This process is crucial in developing empathy and forming meaningful relationships. Research has shown that individuals with stronger mentalizing abilities tend to have better emotional regulation skills, which enables them to navigate complex social situations more effectively. One of the key researchers who has contributed significantly to our understanding of mentalization and emotional regulation is Peter Fonagy. According to Fonagy, mentalizing is closely linked to the development of emotional regulation in early childhood. When caregivers respond sensitively to an infant's emotional needs, they help the child develop a sense of security and trust, which lays the foundation for healthy emotional regulation. As children grow and develop, their mentalizing abilities become more sophisticated, enabling them to better understand and manage their own emotions. A significant study published in the Journal of Child Psychology and Psychiatry found that children who received mentalization-based therapy showed improved emotional regulation skills compared to those who received traditional therapy. The study suggested that mentalization-based interventions can be an effective way to promote healthy emotional development in children. This has important implications for parents, educators, and therapists who work with children, as it highlights the need to incorporate mentalizing techniques into their interactions with young people. In terms of controversies or debates in the field, some researchers have argued that mentalization may not be equally accessible to all individuals, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. For example, a study published in the journal Social Cognitive and Affective Neuroscience found that individuals from lower socioeconomic backgrounds tended to have reduced activity in brain regions associated with mentalizing, which may be related to chronic stress and limited access to resources. This raises important questions about the potential barriers to mentalization and how we can work to address these disparities. To illustrate the application of mentalization in everyday life, consider a situation where you're working on a team project and one of your colleagues is becoming increasingly frustrated with the progress. A mentalizing approach might involve asking yourself, "What do I think my colleague is feeling right now?" or "How do I think they perceive the current situation?" By taking a moment to mentalize about your colleague's emotional state, you can respond in a more empathetic and supportive way, which can help to diffuse tension and improve collaboration. In therapeutic settings, mentalization-based treatments often involve techniques such as mentalizing the body, where patients are encouraged to pay attention to their physical sensations and emotions in order to develop a greater sense of self-awareness. This approach can be particularly helpful for individuals who struggle with anxiety or depression, as it enables them to better understand and regulate their emotional states. By incorporating mentalizing techniques into therapy, clinicians can help patients develop more adaptive coping strategies and improve their overall well-being. The concept of reflective functioning is also closely related to mentalization. Reflective functioning refers to the ability to reflect on one's own mental states and those of others, which is a critical component of mentalizing. When we engage in reflective functioning, we're able to consider multiple perspectives, evaluate evidence, and develop a more nuanced understanding of ourselves and others. This process is essential for developing empathy, trust, and strong relationships, and it's a key aspect of mentalization-based therapies. In conclusion, our exploration of mentalization has revealed its profound impact on our ability to understand ourselves and others, fostering empathy, trust, and stronger relationships. By recognizing the intricate dance between our own mental states and those of others, we can develop a more nuanced understanding of the world around us. Mentalization is not just a concept in modern psychology. It's a vital tool for navigating the complexities of everyday life, from personal relationships to professional collaborations. By embracing this insight, we can cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness, compassion, and understanding. So, as you reflect on your own mentalizing abilities, consider this. What would happen if we all took a moment to truly see things from another's perspective? That's all for today's Psych with Sigmund. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.